You're tuned in to Ask the Master Auto Technician. Car questions? Get answers right now. Call 850-763-0555.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, 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 yeah.
Hey, if you got a car question, now's the time to call. Ron Hart was just on, so that was a pretty good conversation. I had no idea he was going to call today, but give us a call at 850-763-0555. There's really no dumb questions. You can sound off, you can comment. If you think that we're all crazy as a March hare, you're welcome to do that too. But that's what this show is about. It's a free information Saturday, and I try to help you get answers. Believe it or not, I mean, I learn so much working on cars every day. I mean, I really don't actually get inside there and actually take the things apart. I know, but I actually watch what's going on. I tell my guys, say, take this, do that, do that. I look at wave patterns and go out there and look at numbers. And, you know, and the thing is, I mean, I don't have to go and do this, but I like to do this because I like to learn. And that's the most important thing of any occupation or any career you're in is learning. I mean, when you stop learning, you might as well just quit. I mean, because that's what makes life worth getting up every morning to me is what am I going to learn today? I may not say what am I going to learn today, but I wake up and go, it's going to be an exciting day because I'm going to probably find something exciting. And when I see something that works in working on cars, it's instant gratification. It either works or it doesn't work. And that's the part when you do everything like it's supposed to be done and everything supposedly is within the parameters and it still doesn't work. That gets rather frustrating. And then you have to go back and review your work. And you have to go back and look and say, what did I miss? What's the 800-pound gorilla in the room that I'm missing? Because normally it is. It's normally once you see it, you know, they say when you find something, you stop looking, you know, because you've already found it. But you find yourself, well, I looked at it, but you see it, but you really didn't see it. And that's the same thing with people's cars out there. They get in their cars, and they hear a noise or they see something and they say, well, it's not that bad, I'll get it fixed. And they put it off and they see it maybe or feel it or hear it get a little worse. Ooh, maybe I need to get looked at. And then maybe it's too late. Perfect example, someone driving down the street, car pulls up in front of my shop at the end of the day. They say, you got a water hose we can use? Sure, you can use a water hose. And I said, before you put water in it, you need to start the car up. You don't want to put water in a hot engine. And they said, well, okay. And so I was listening to it, and I said, I don't think you have any compression. The engine won't start. It just turns over too fast. And they said, well, it needs oil. And I said, why is that? They said, well, it was making knocking noises, and I know it needs oil. And I'm sitting here going, hey, what you heard was a hot engine knocking because it was hot. Because when they opened the hood, I just walked out there as a courtesy and checked their oil, and there was plenty of oil in it. And I said, maybe a half quart low. And I said, what you've got was a knocking sound of not having any coolant in it. You've blown the head gasket. Well, how much is that going to cost? I said, more than you're going to want to spend. And that's all I can tell you. I said, you know, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The car is an older model car. I apologize for the inconvenience you're having in life right now, but this could have been prevented. That's, you know, I don't really tell them that because it's like kicking someone when they're down. You don't want to tell them that, but I'm thinking to myself, this could have been prevented. It really could have been prevented. If someone had bothered to check the fluid levels, yeah, something is simple. When the car is cold, if you'll do that, you'll be surprised how many things, thousands and thousands of dollars, that won't be stimulated in our economy and won't be coming out of your pocketbook.
Well, I mean, the simplest things with cars and cooling systems is radiator caps. People don't remember that that's a maintenance issue. It should be changed every couple of years.
Well, where you're supposed to change your coolant every couple of years, Anna Marie.
Well, you change your radiator cap with your coolant, you're good. Because, I mean, how many times have we seen recently, well, we have a Pacifica that just left with a blown head gasket. What was her coolant leak? Her radiator cap.
Radiator cap. Then what happened? Her thermostat got stuck. Radiator cap wouldn't hold pressure on it.
So therefore, thermostats are maintenance issues as well.
And when you get a lot of miles on, that's why I tell people over 7 years, over 100,000 miles, if you've not done anything to your cooling system and it's 7 years old, you're on borrowed time. You're literally on borrowed time. If you want to go out and buy a $40,000 car, I got no problem with you doing it. Fine, that's fine. I got no problem with it. But what happens is most people go out and buy a car. Not most people. Most people now. They go out and buy a car when they realize the repair bill is going to be more than what the car is worth, they think. Well, I say, okay, so you got a repair bill of $2,000, $3,000. What's it going to cost to replace this car? What's going to cost me a new car, equivalent value, new car to me that's 2-3 years old is going to run me $15,000 to $20,000. I said, okay, there's your options. Fix what you got, or buy a $20,000 car, $20,000 car, and pay on it for another 4 or 5 years.
When-
What do you want
and
to
you
do?
still have to do maintenance. I mean, you can't get away from maintenance. Now, the best way to handle maintenance is to be up on it. You have a
Proactive.
schedule and you
Right.
stick to it. You don't let things slide from one year to the next because what happens, you let things slide from year to year, you're going to reach a critical mass in 3 or 4 years where now you're looking at, rather than just one maintenance issue, you've got all of them staring you in the face, and you either fix the car or, as you say, James, replace the car. You don't always replace a car with a new car. Sometimes you buy someone else's used car, or it's new to you, but it's still a used car.
Well, we get them every day that come in here. They just recently have bought this car. And I said, did you get it looked at by an independent diagnostic
Yeah,
repair
did somebody look at
facility?
this before you bought it? Well, no. It was a really good deal,
And then
so I just bought it.
And I tell him, I said, look, I said, how many miles you got on the car? We look at the car. It's a beautiful car, 100,000 miles on average. That's usually what I see them.
Usually,
90
yes.
90 to 100,000 miles. Beautiful car, well maintained, great records on it. And I said, here's what's happening. At 90 to 100,000 miles, that comes the real big maintenance issue. Well, what do you mean? Timing belts. Oh, I hear that's not very expensive. Put timing belt on there. I said, yes, just putting a timing belt on is not, but there's other things that go along with it, like the cam and crank seals, the tensioner, the idler pulley, the water pump, the coolant exchange that happens when you pull the water pump off.
Those cute little belts in front of the timing belt.
Yeah, all these things have to be changed because they got 100,000 miles on too, and the tensioners and the pulleys in them as well. And so by the time you get finished doing something, it's easily, when you buy a car that's 7 to 10 years
Well,
old.
5 to 10 years
Yeah,
old.
somewhere in that area. What did I say? $1,500 to $2,500 is the average.
And that's not your numbers. That's numbers from research from Consumer Reports,
Yeah.
Kelley Blue Book, Edmunds. I mean, this is just-
Edmunds, what they've done, even Consumer Reports. They've, years ago they used to tell me every time I lose a customer, that was $1,000 a year in gross sales that I'm probably losing from a customer due to moving away, dying, buying a new car, whatever the case may be, getting upset with me. What may be the case, that's what you're going to average losing in sales. Well, that was 20 years ago. The average price now is $1,500 to $2,000 a year on repairing today's cars. It doesn't take much in the way of oil changes and timing belts and batteries and coolant exchanges and all these other things that go along with a car to have an average of $1,500 to $2,000 a year maintenance bill of taking care of a car that's got 70 to 100,000 miles on it. Now, I got people say, I've never spent that kind of money. Well, you've never owned a 2009 car either. You've never owned a 2000, now here this car's coming on 60, 70, 80,000 miles, and there's certain things that have to be done on it. If you don't do it, you're not going to get another 60, 70, 80,000 miles out of it. It's your call. You either pay more in the first 100,000 miles so you'll get another 100,000 miles out of it, or you put it all off to the very end and throw the car away. And that's what I see a lot of times happen. My Chevrolet truck has 203,000 miles on it. We've been loaning it out to customers, and customers unfortunately don't always take care of the car. And I don't drive it every day, so I don't pay a lot of attention to it. So what I ended up doing, the car came back in, I started the car up, and I noticed it smoking out the tailpipe. I went, wow, that's not good. So we had to take care of that. And when we get back from talking to Jay Lott from Napa Auto Parts, we'll talk more about my car. But Jay, how are we doing today over at Napa? Are you playing
Good
the
morning.
golf course?
Well, I'm looking at a golf course, but I'm not playing.
Oh.
Anna pegged it. She said you got your honeydew list going on this morning, and she's right.
Yeah.
So doing some things around the house.
Oh, I've been there, done that. But you have to do that every so often. I woke up this morning, saw the red sky morning, sailor take warning, and before I even got back in the house, it started raining. I don't know if it is now anymore. I'm inside, but it is so true. When we see that red sky, we know something's going to happen. And my wife said that little bit of rain ain't scaring me from the golf course this afternoon. It'll be gone. I said I understand.
That's right. Well, it's gone now. It's mostly sunny.
Well,
we got
wonderful.
rain out here, so it's a nice little breeze blowing. So you'll have a good afternoon.
I hope so. We really are now. I know that we did the Wounded Warrior, Heroes program, Wounded Heroes
Right.
program,
Yep.
Fallen Heroes program. I'll get this right in a minute. There's so many of these little programs out there. How is that? Is that still going on, the Fallen Heroes program?
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's called, the promotional tie-in to it is Get Back and Give Back. And when a customer buys a battery or a piece of rotating electrical, which would be an alternator or starter, and mails in their rebate, they can get up to $25. And for every unit, either battery or a piece of rotating electrical, there's a charitable donation of $1 given to this project. So it's a nationwide project that goes on actually through the Auto Care Centers through the end of August. but on the retail side through the end of July. So we have a couple months to take advantage of it for the consumers that are out there.
Okay, and what that does, it actually gives a little rebate to this program. They get $1 for
Yeah.
it, and that's what it does. The consumer doesn't. The consumer gets a great price on it, but also at the same time, $1 is being donated to the Fallen Heroes program.
Well, with 6,000 stores, Napa Auto Parts stores
Right.
nationwide, and 13,000 Napa Auto Care centers,
It adds
you
up.
can imagine the stimulus that will be created from this effort.
Wow, that sounds better than some of the stimulus programs we've had out there. And we're
Absolutely.
At least this right here is creating a need. It's not making a need. It's feeding a need that needs to be met, not creating a false need. Hey Jay, we only got a few seconds left before we go to break. What is going to be our code word for the week?
Let's stay with Wounded Warrior again. I think, James, through the end of the month, and in case we miss each other next weekend,
All right.
we can continue that on, and it's good for a 10% discount at Napa Auto Parts.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for calling. It's Jay Locke. Give him a call at 785-4341. We'll be right back.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, 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 beep.